As I travel and talk about my new book, it's put me into a whole other category. I mean, people actually think I know what I'm talking about because you write a book and they think you're smart, I guess. You'll probably figure that out pretty quickly, that that's not always true. But I'm asked many questions. And the question that I'm asked most frequently when I travel and when I speak on a group like this goes something like this. Tom, what is going on in the workplace? Why is there so much unhappiness and dysfunction in the place where we work? And the answer to that question really has three parts, and I'm going to try to cover them briefly and quickly in all of my comments this afternoon. But the first is a generational disconnect in the workplace. With 4, soon to be 5, very distinct people groups, it's just a complete disconnect. The second is that there is a missing attitude of putting the employee first. That's right, I said putting the employee first. We all grew up, especially if you're as old as I am, we grew up in our econ classes, and the prof was standing there and he was saying, who is number one? And we'd say, the customer is number one. The customer is number one. And you know what? That's no longer true, in my belief. The customer is not the first person here. If we treat our employees as number one, they then will be treating the customers as number one, and incidentally, the customer service levels go off the charts. The third piece is a lack of a great place to work strategy. And yes, there really is unhappiness and dysfunction in the workplace today. Most of the experts who study the workplace over the last 5 to 10 years have been telling us that 40 to 62% of the U.S. workforce is unhappy in their present work. And their resumes, incidentally, are updated, and they are ready to make a job change. However, having said that, in my recent research for this book on that subject, I find that it's even worse than that. Right Management, the talent arm of Manpower Incorporated, many of us know that name, suggests now, very recently, that 81%, that's right, I said 81% of the workforce is ready to jump ship. 6% say it's not likely that they will leave, but incidentally, they have updated their resume just in case. Only a mere 13% say they plan to stay in their current job. 13% plan to stay in their current job. Of course, simply because people say they intend to leave doesn't necessarily mean that they will. But when a survey reflects such a high level of dissatisfaction, which that is, it should serve as a wake-up call for employers.